So what we're going to do is we're going to make a vinaigrette for our salad. So a couple of elements that you need to remember. Vinaigrette is just a fancy way of saying like a salad dressing, really. And it's made using a number of different elements. So we'll get cracking. What we want to do is just splash a bit of olive oil to start off with. And then loosen it a bit with some lemon juice. Bring us some lemon juice. This is really just how you feel about your salads and what kind of taste that you want to generate from there. So a couple of the ingredients kind of look like guesswork, but you know, once you've been doing it for a while. So I've just put some white vinegar, and then what I like to put is a little bit of the rice vinegar in there. I think it adds quite a nice texture. And then instead of salt, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use soy sauce, which already contains like some element of like sodium. So that's cool. And then our last ingredient, which is our special ingredient, I'm sure most of you at home recognize is gakajero. So just cut open gakajero, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spoon a couple of the seeds in there. You can use the whole item, like I'm doing here. Leave the pulp, just make sure you just put the seeds in there. It will give it a nice texture, because you know what, gaka, they kind of have a bit of a, like kind of a soury feel, or like a lemony feel to it. And I think they add a nice bit of flavor to my salad dressing. Okay, so now I'm just going to give it a bit of a taste, because it's always important to give your food a bit of a taste. So, perfect. So, to my favorite part of the meal, I'm going to get started on my calamari. So what I'm going to do is you need to get a nice griddle pan, because we want to get some nice markings on there. I think it gives it a nice kind of texture on there. So we're going to pan fry our calamari to add to our salad. So let's get cracking. Get some heat on. What you want to do, especially when you're going to be pan frying something, is you want to wait until the pan is absolutely really hot before you put your oil on there, okay? So we'll put some olive oil onto a already hot pan, and you can already feel like and hear the sizzle on there. So what we want to do is we want to get our calamari straight onto there. It's going to be a long process. Getting each calamari, or as we say in Shona, ma calamari acho. Yeah, what you want to do is you want to get each and every one of them to get like uniform markings. So I'm not just going to chuck them on all at once and then just let them fry off. And also you want to drain off a lot of the marinade, because you don't want it to get watery. You want them to fry and immediately start to get a little bit crunchy on the outside, but not too rubbery, because you don't leave calamari on your fire too long, because then it becomes rubbery and it's not a very good taste. So we're now turning our squid, and as you can see, it's already been marked very beautifully on the one side. You don't want to keep it on your pan too quickly. I'm already being taken back by the chilies there, it's like coughing quite a little bit. The minute you turn it, you want to immediately turn off your heat, because you don't want that to cook any further. So what we want to do is we want to put it on a couple of paper towels just to absorb all the cooking oil. So it's a couple of serviettes we'll do here. These are lots of the serviettes that we use for the food festival. Cool. Okay, so our calamari is ready. Just let that drain off that excess fat. Okay, for those of you that have been following my blogs, you'll notice that garlic bread seems to be my staple. So I'm going to show you how to make like a basic garlic bread. So what you need is just bread. Normally I like to use stale bread because I don't like to waste. So I'll use a couple of slices of some bread. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by cutting off the edges on the bread. So I just want to keep the slices nice and even. What we want to start off with is some garlic flakes, because I think they break down a lot slower, especially when you're now frying your garlic bread or you're baking it, whichever method you're going to use. And on top of that, what we're going to add is a couple of the Italian herbs. Now, Italian herbs will have stuff like thyme, they'll have some oregano. That's the main ingredient that I'm looking for in this particular mixture. Okay, and then the next thing that we're going to add is you're normally meant to add butter, but because we don't really find butter that much in Zimbabwe, so a cheaper substitute that you get is going to be margarine. So we're going to add a nice dollop of margarine in there. Now what you want to do is you want to incorporate those ingredients together. Just mix them like roughly. Shouldn't be very neat really. Just want to get that. You want to get equal parts of that garlic and those Italian herbs mixed into the butter, okay? It's not really going to take long. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to put some liberal amounts of this onto our bread. Now, remembering that as you're frying off the bread, all of this is going to end up in the pan, and then some of it is going to end up on the bread. So don't worry about the amounts that I'm putting on here. So copious amounts of this garlic onto our bread. The beauty with this is you can always store it for later. So even if you make like a large batch and you're only using it for 2 slices, you can always put that back into the refrigerator. I like to keep huge batches of this because it always then reminds me that, you know, there's garlic bread to be made. And I think garlic bread, just like bacon, solves all the problems in the world. Okay, so we've got our nice slices of bread.